Angry residents of North Point fire want to banish guest houses. Volgograd hit by 2 terror attacks in one day. And German magazine shocks with more NSA spying. Good evening. 4 people remain in critical condition following yesterday's fire in North Point. Visitors staying in the building's guest houses are among dozens injured in the blaze. As Diane To reports, residents now want the guest houses gone. Hong Kong confirmed its first human case of the H9N2 avian flu virus today. The patient is an 86-year-old man who lives in the Lowood district of Shenzhen. He's now in stable condition at Princess Margaret Hospital. The Centre for Health Protection believes he became infected outside of Hong Kong. More suspected counterfeit $1,000 banknotes were found in a Tsim Sha Tsui bank today. The Bank of China tellers called the police after finding 39 suspicious $1,000 bills and one $500 note. 2 women were arrested as they tried to deposit the money. Over the past few days, quite a number of people have gone to banks to exchange their 2003 editions of $1,000 notes issued by the Bank of China and HSBC for other bills. Today, the Hong Kong Monetary Authority said it will not issue a mass recall of the banknotes. It pointed out that people can choose to return the banknotes or continue to use them, but a mass recall would have a bigger impact on society. The authority said, however, it will speed up the planned replacement of 2003 editions with a 2010 version. Police in Xinjiang on the mainland today shot dead 8 people who allegedly attacked the officers with knives and explosives. The violence went down at 6:30 this morning in Shache County, close to the old Silk Road city of Kashgar. The government claims the 9 knife-wielding assailants threw explosive devices at a police station and set police cars on fire. Police shot and killed 8 of the attackers and captured the 9th one. The Xinjiang regional government is characterizing the incident as a terrorist attack. This marks the second outbreak of violent unrest in Xinjiang this month. Authorities have previously blamed the violence on Islamic militants among the region's Uyghur ethnic group. For the second time in less than 24 hours, the southern Russian city of Volgograd has been targeted by terrorists. At least 14 people are dead after a bomb ripped apart a trolley bus during this morning's rush hour. The blast comes a day after a suicide bomber killed 17 people in the city's main railway station. As James Aiken reports, the attacks are highlighting Russia's vulnerability to extremist attacks as it prepares to host the Winter Olympics in Sochi. Clashes between students and riot police continued on Sunday at Egypt's main Islamic university, and at least 4 people were injured in a blast in front of a military intelligence building just outside of Egypt's capital. The violence comes on the same day Egypt's interim president said a presidential election can come before a planned parliamentary election without violating the military-backed timetable. That means Egypt would have an elected government by next summer. That plan originally required parliamentary elections to be held first. A constitutional referendum is set for mid-January. Students at Cairo's Al-Azhar University, a stronghold of supporters of deposed President Mohamed Morsi, have been protesting for weeks against his ouster by the military and a recent state crackdown. On Saturday, a student at the university was killed during a demonstration that turned violent. And back locally, police have rejected accusations they haven't done enough to ensure rival protesters are properly separated when a rally for universal suffrage is held on New Year's Day. Rally organisers stepped up their criticism of police today, saying the arrangements could put public safety at risk.
Police came under more fire today over arrangements for Wednesday's democracy rally. A pro-government group is planning to stage a counter-demonstration along the way, and organisers think police haven't done enough to separate the two sides to lessen the risk of violence.
To minimize the risk to public order is a thing that the police has emphasized so many times in the past, and I find that it's a bit inconsistent for the police to ignore the risks on public order this time.
But police insisted they are doing all they can to keep the peace.
So far, police hasn't received any notifications of applications in respect of the street station that you mentioned. But we are now following up the informations and so as to make appropriate arrangement to ensure public order and public safety.
With this being the first large protest since the government launched a public consultation on constitutional reform, organisers are under additional pressure to keep it orderly, especially considering that they see it as preparation for the Occupy Central campaign slated for the summer of 2014. Organised by the Civil Human Rights Front and the Alliance for True Democracy, the rally will kick off at 3 p.m, with protesters marching from Victoria Park in Causeway Bay to Chater Garden in Central. And there are also calls for people to come through the government's public consultation document on election arrangements.
The government has stressed that it has a totally open mind. I hope that this is so. But unfortunately, if you read the consultation document carefully, you get the distinct impression that the government has already made up its mind. Of course, I hope that I'm wrong in this respect. But it's important for Hong Kong people to look carefully at this document and to pinpoint the important issues and the important principles.
The consultation ends in May.
A German magazine has blown the lid off alleged US spying tactics used by a hacking unit of the National Security Agency. Der Spiegel claimed the NSA would intercept computer deliveries, exploit hardware vulnerabilities and hijack Microsoft's internal reporting system to spy on its targets, Sonia Artero reports. In sports, 7-time Formula One champion Michael Schumacher remains in critical condition following a skiing accident in France yesterday. Doctors have placed him in a coma and say he's fighting for his life. The German F1 star was rushed to hospital after a fall on the slopes saw him crash and hit his head on a rock. He underwent immediate surgery for serious head trauma as soon as he reached the hospital. Schumacher fell while skiing off-piste in Méribel in the French Alps. He had been wearing a helmet and was reportedly conscious when rescuers reached the scene. Liverpool were again on the losing end of another thrilling match in the English Premiership. The Reds were desperate to make up for their loss to Man City, but they were unable to get past Chelsea last night. Tony Sabine reports. And on to the weather. Wintry conditions are expected to dominate the territory tomorrow with a minimum temperature of about 11 degrees. That's the news. Thanks for watching. Good night.